experience, what are some of the important things that you look for in your team as they're traveling, as they go through media day and all the stuff that has to go leading up until Thursday?
Yeah, it's so cool to say a veteran of this experience. Like, it's just awesome to have gone a couple times and know what to expect, but yet also know that every team's a little bit different. We're obviously pretty young with this group too, so I think having our seniors just share a little bit of their first time walking out into the field. You just see it on TV, and in your head you can hear the voices of maybe Mendoza or Michelle Smith saying something, and now you're actually on the field. So just talked about being present for that, but softball's still softball when we start playing, and I think we're just trying to drive that be where your feet are moment home with them. So, but I'm excited for them. I want them to have fun. I want them to want to take tons of pictures. That it's a very special moment and really hard to get to the World Series. So it's a cool experience. So I want them to enjoy it.
You mentioned the youth, but you have 5 girls on this team that were part of that 2018 squad. How important have they been kind of in this postseason, and how important are they now in sharing that experience, but also hoping to lead you guys to another national title?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the experience for them, having been in so many moments, I think allowed them to, Anna's walk in LSU, just to get us a chance to get Landers to the plate was an experience moment. I think that it didn't rattle her. She was able to stay in her at-bats. So I think those, when you talk about mature at-bats and mature softball stuff, that's huge for us with those veteran players. But the reality is we're playing Team 38 right now. It's a team, and even your freshman, Kaylee Harding, is a sophomore technically. We played so many games and so many moments. So I think we're very comfortable with how we do things and what we do right now, and that's what we're going to battle with in Oklahoma City.
So let's talk about how you celebrated after the LSU win, and just kind of how things have gone for preparation for UCLA.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. Lucky enough, we were the Thursday game, so that allows us an extra day of rest, recovery, preparation, all that kind of stuff, and we were close enough to Baton Rouge to be able to make it a morning trip. So there was a lot of pluses for us in this preparation to get to the World Series. But celebration, they all, we jumped in the pool, and I think it was pretty cool. One thing, like winning the national championship in 2018, I didn't take a moment to bring the team together and really be a part of the team. We just right away celebration, and then people on the field, and then media. And so I thought it was really cool and special to have everyone be in the pool, parents, everyone that's a part of it, just to have that simple moment that you have to enjoy. Obviously, you know what you want to get to in Oklahoma City, but you've got to enjoy it. Again, great ball club, with LSU at their place. That's a huge accomplishment on this team's part. And so it was quite fun. Definitely is quite fun to do that. And, we've obviously been debriefing it too a little bit of how that game happened and the things that we did. And, high fives for some of the biggest moments. So we really talked about that. And then now preparation for UCLA.
So also to piggyback off of that as well, just how has the experience of being there before winning before also helped you this time with kind of just taking in and soaking in the moment?
Yeah, definitely. It's just crazy, right? Game 2 is just so crazy of a super regional, and I think the announcer said it over and over again. Everyone whoever's won game 1 against LSU doesn't win, and it radiates, and you're like, oh, here we go, game 2, the momentum. But I think if anything's taught me this year and that super regional, anything can happen at any moment, and you got to stay in the process. And I'm still learning as a coach, it's just, there's no blue book in how to do things. You got to be you got to be calm, and you got to really appreciate the moments. And it was so calming when Landers came to the plate. There was just this calmness about her getting after her swings with the team, and then full elation after that. So, I don't know, I was just kind of giggling inside, how cool is this for these players? And, I'm so proud of them.
Coach, for a good chunk of your roster, 15 months ago, the season ends abruptly. 4-game weekends, lots of testing, lots of all that. To see that rewarded with another trip to Oklahoma City, how proud are you that they get to see this?
Yeah, I'm still taking that all in, honestly. Even on the way here today, I was thinking about, the season ended and we went into a virtual season. So we spent the next month and a half. We had our freshmen on there. We couldn't have, due to rules, we couldn't have our incoming freshmen. So we would have our team, and then half hour later, we'd have a Zoom call with our freshmen and debrief what we talked about, and just really tried to build on, this is where we'd be in June. We're not playing now, but this is where we'd be in Oklahoma City. This is what it's like. We had former players come into the Zooms and share, what their experiences were. So, you think about that moment a year ago, and to where we're at now, how cool is it that we've gone through all that? So I'm still debriefing all that right now. it's just crazy because we've had an up and down season. We've had lost confidence, trying to figure out who we are, not hitting the power numbers, short game. Like, it has been so up and down. And for all to come together at the right time, just really makes me proud as a coach and us as a coaching staff to think about how much we keep pouring into the culture and then how they kept fighting to let their softball skills play.
Coach, going along with that, Elizabeth mentioned that. She said over the last couple of weeks, because the theme in 2018 was the fight, the cardiac kids.
Yeah.
And she said she's really kind of seen a semblance of that over these last couple of weeks. So
Yep.
the ACC tournament was kind of the turning point. Do you see that with this team?
Yep.
Are you peaking, I guess, so to speak, at the right time with that fight?
Yeah, you'd have to say we're peaking at the right time because we're, we're going to the World Series. We went into someone's house. We beat them, as the underdog. Like, there's a lot of really cool moments that just really amplify, like, fight. But I think the one thing that I've really seen is their preparation. All the players, and Elizabeth's one of them. Like, she's studying. She comes to our scout meetings and she has notes upon notes of how the people are going to pitch her, how they're going to pitch Florida State, what we're looking for. So their preparation, and when you talk about that, when you get the opportunity to play at a high level and you're prepared, that's when the confidence starts to come in and the trust. And it's, the entire team right now. So that's where that heartbeat's coming right now with confidence. And yes, that would be the peaking moment. So, pretty pumped to see what we have ahead of us. Yeah.
So how has the season and the schedule really prepared you for this opportunity? Because, you played, especially with the weekend games this year in the ACC, you played so many in so short span of time.
Yeah. I think the 4-game series I appreciated because we didn't have a lot of midweek, so you had a lot of time to prepare what you were getting in the 4-game series. COVID played a big part of this, we got to Boston College, we got rained out in a game. We had COVID protocols. We didn't go out running around in Boston. Like, we stayed in the hotel the whole day. They created a tournament with pillow fights. Like, we did a lot of things together that created culture to be together. There were so many times where we're like, man, like, normally we would go out and do things, but we couldn't. So there was also playing, but there was a lot of team time. They had to really make the decision to be together and how we're going to be together and work together. And so I think that played a big part of it.
How unique has the blend of this team been, and how helpful has it been? Because you have that group of players who've been there, done that, seen about everything you can, and then that group who are seeing everything for the first time. Have they helped balance each other?
Yeah. I think the stories that we share, but I think the biggest thing on our coaching side is we've had to educate. We've had 2 classes right now that haven't been to an ACC tournament of postseason. So you have the COVID class and the true freshman class. So we've had to educate, like, what is the schedule about? What is RPI? What is 64 teams? How many teams play softball? Like, all those simple things that now have morphed into teams that have been there and won a championship to talk about, like, this time of year. It's so special that you guys are part of 8 teams playing for the last W of the season. And that has been really special.